All right, welcome everyone. Before we start, I'd just like to thank Yvette and Abi Hidary for sponsoring tonight's class. Appreciate it. Thank you. If anyone wants to help with next week's class, please see myself or someone else on the committee. We'd appreciate it. Next week's class will be on Monday night. Same place, same time. We also have an event coming up, which will be in 2 Saturday nights. Rabbi Menachem Liebtag from Israel is going to be in town. Once again, thank you, Yvette and Abi, for sponsoring that event. It's going to be in Bet Torah on Saturday night. We'll keep you posted with more details. Follow along on the email.
I want to thank everyone for coming again. Tonight's shiur will be on the Het of Achan and the punishment that Israel received from that Het of Achan, or as a subtitle, the concept of Kol Yisrael Arevin Zeh Lazeh. First, I'd like to have a little discussion on what was the issue of the Me'ilah of Yericho. Why was it such a crucial issue that Yehoshua made such a strong statement about it? Once we understand that, I want to shift over to the different opinions of the sin of Achan. And then, done with that, we'll take a look at a midrash, and hopefully that midrash will tie in the different aspects of what we're going to talk in together. There'll be, until we get to the end, they'll seem like different subsections, but hopefully by the end we'll be able to tie it together. Okay. Pasuk, Perek Vav, Pasuk Yud Zayin. Yehoshua. V'hayita ha'ir Herem, talking about Yericho. After the miraculous victory of Yericho, v'hayeta ha'ir Herem, he v'chol asher ba l'Adonai. Rak rahav hazona tehyeh, he v'chol asher ita b'bayit ki hechbe'eta et ha'malachim asher shalachnu. So the city will be a Herem. Whose decree is that? The Radak, as well as many other Pashtanim, say this is a decree from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed that this was Al Pi Hashem told to Yehoshua. But he says, Lo haj ha'pasuk lazkir shaya Al Pi Hashem. The Midrash Tanhuma says, no. This was Yehoshua's idea. He decided to make it a herem. This is going to be an important point. Yehoshua himself decided, we're going to make a herem. Abarbanel, by the way, and you have it in front of you in your sheets, seems to go in the middle. From the beginning of the Abarbanel, he says, שתהיה העיר חרם וכל אשר בה. והיה זה לפי דעת חז"ל התעוררות יהושע מעצמו. Right? He quotes Hazal first, that Yehoshua did it on his own. באומרו יריחו כבשנוה תחילה לארץ ישראל. Right? He said, listen, this is the first capture in Eretz Yisrael. לכן נוציאנה תרומה כאישה שמפרשת חלה. Why you make this herem? It's like hala, reshit arisotechem. This is the first we captured. We're going to set it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then he says, "V'kadosh Baruch Hu hiskib al yado." Now I'm skipping down to a line before where it's underlined. Ukfi ashpeshat amru hamefarshim shelo asa ze ki im b'mitzvat ha'el. Right? Now, after the Abarbanel brings that it was the midrash that says Yehoshua did it on his own, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu agreed. He brings the Mefarshim, as we mentioned earlier, that could be the Radak, and he says that it was God's command, and it's no big deal if the pasuk doesn't mention it. V'da'ati. Shamalach sivahu b'shem ha'el. Abarbanel takes an interesting middle approach. He says that was a command of the malach. When the malach told him to remove his shoes, ki ata makom asher ata omed alav kodesh hu, automatically Yehoshua understood that harem and kodesh is ehad hu. Okay. So we have different approaches as who did it. Who is responsible for this harem? Hashem, Yehoshua, God agrees, or a command of a malach to Yehoshua that Yehoshua interpreted in a certain way. So we have different approaches. The next question, why? Right, and we already started seeing the Abarbanel in the name of Hazal, that it's like halah. It's the first fruit, so to speak. In reality, there are different midrashim that bring different reasons. One midrash says that Yericho was captured on Shabbat, and as we know, and it brings the halakha that anything on Shabbat, ma'aseh Shabbati asura. Actually, that is the opinion in Masechet Shabbat of Rabbi Yochanan HaSandlad. Nobody seems to be posek that way. The Maaseh Shabbat is asur, that the creation of Shabbat is asur. Nevertheless, since Yericho is captured on Shabbat, it's asur for us. Or the one that Abarbanel quotes, that it's like halah, it's unique. Another midrash compares Yericho to Irani Dahat. Right, and a city in which the people in the city go off to be Oved Avodah Zarah. And so Yericho might have been filled with such people, and so therefore it was to be Muhram. This is the different Midrashei Hazal. Abarbanel seems to have a different take. And it's the second group of underlining, back into that same Abarbanel, why he brings his own reason why the harem should happen. V'ra'ui hayashi yeken. It was worthy that this city should be placed in harem. Ki'im hayad Hashem hayeshua. Whose victory is Yericho? Who can claim victory to the capture of Yericho? Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ech Yisrael nishlol bashalal. It's fair. Hashem's victory, and you're going to take the shalal, all the spoils? No, you have no right to the shalal. This is God's victory, and therefore the spoils belong to Him. Ach, asher yerushum koham ugvuratam otam yirashu. Whatever, based on their own koach and strength, they inherit, they'll take the spoils. Ve'asher orish ha'el yitparach, and whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu inherits, benes v'pele mikubili ad adam, without any human involvement. Lo yameh ra'ui shishlo adam shalal. It's not fair. We're going to come back to another piece in that Abarbanel in a minute. So in other words, the Abarbanel says something interesting, but we have to analyze what that means. It's not fair. You want the spoils? If it's your victory, you can have it. God's victory, it belongs to Him. It's not yours. We need to understand what that means. Right? Obviously, we're not talking that Hashem says, listen, it's mine. It's not fair. I did it. It's mine. I get the reward here. Obviously, the essence, there's some educational aspect here for Am Yisrael. This is not yours. This doesn't belong to you. If you want the spoils, you need to earn it yourself. This was a miraculous victory. I take the spoils. In fact, the Kli Akar on this Abarbanel brings an interesting proof. He says, if you take a look at the pasuk, it says, "V'hayta ha'ir herem, hi v'kol asher ba laHashem." It seems to be redundant. V'hayta ha'ir herem. So what do you mean, hi v'kol asher ba laHashem? Herem is laHashem. Ela v'hayta ha'ir herem, and hi v'kol asher ba laHashem is the reason why v'hayta ha'ir herem. V'hayta ha'ir herem. The city should be herem. Why? Because he v'chol asher ba by right belongs to Hashem, because he was the one who won this victory. Some of the Mefarshim seem to have a similar take to Abarbanel, although a little bit nuanced differently. The Ralbag, you have that. Pasuk Yud Zayin, same pasuk. V'hinei סיבה שיחרימו כל אשר בעיר ולא ייהנו ממנו בדבר. No benefit. כדי שלא יטעו ישראל במה שיגיע להם מהצלחה אחר זה וייחסוה אל מה שקנו משלל העיר ההיא. ואולי יהיה זה סיבה על שיחשבו שאמונתם הייתה טובה עד שגם נכסיהם מביאים הצלחה למי שיקנה. So this is a thing that Al-Bag wants to teach us, that, and he continues to go, that the Hatzlaha, all military victories belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And there was a danger. There was a danger that if they would take the shalal of Yericho, if they would take the booty of Yericho, they would see it somehow as some form of good luck charm. And that would even indicate that there was some reality or some truth to the beliefs of the people of Yericho, because it brings, so to speak, good luck. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to teach them that Yericho is done. Now, go to Ha'ai, and you'll have another victory without any good luck charms. Why? Because all victories are through Yad Hashem. And all victories that you have to attribute to God. A little different, but in a similar vein. Your next makor. Harambam in the Moreh Nevuchim, Chelik Gimel Perek Nun. Here, Harambam is bringing Yericho as a whole list of why the Torah goes out of its way to tell us the stories in Tanakh. And he gives an interesting concept that these stories are given to us so that we can understand God's intervention in human affairs. And he says, ומן הסיבה הזו עצמה החרים יהושע מי שיבנה את יריחו לעולם. It is this reason why Yehoshua was mahrim in Yericho. כדי שיהיה אותו הפלא קיים ועומד. You don't want to build that city. You don't want to take anything from that city. Why? שכל מי שיראה אותה. Why did Yehoshua say you can't build the city again? And it's not exactly so much taken from the Hayrim. We'll see there's another pasuk where Yehoshua commanded this city cannot be built. Why? Because God wanted that city to remain as a sign, and they wanted that actual fallen wall that's stuck in the ground by miraculous happenings. that should sit there, that should stay there. I want to see it still in the ground. I want to see the remnant and the evidence of the miracle. יתברר לו שאין זו צורת בניין שנהרס אלא כשקע בדרך פלא. Again, it should be a reminder, this city can't be rebuilt because this city should be a reminder for all generations about how God's victory was miraculous. Now, Rambam is actually dealing not with this pasuk, but with the pasuk in the same perek Vav, pasuk Kaf Vav. Yehoshua does something almost audacious. Vayashba Yehoshua, and Yehoshua swore, be'et hahi, lemor arur ha'ish, cursed the person lifnei Hashem, asher yakumu banat ha'ir hazot, that would rebuild this city, et Yericho. And listen, this is probably one of the harshest curses ever. Bibchoro yasedenna, with his firstborn will he lay the foundations. Ubitzeiro, and on the death of his youngest, yatziv delateha, will he erect its doors. And the Midrash goes, no matter how many children he has, they'll all die in the middle. This, now the next pasuk, Vayi Hashem et Yehoshua v'yishomo b'chol haaretz. God was with Yehoshua. Peshat is that, okay, now we move on, and everyone heard about this victory, and Yehoshua became a Hashuv person. Midrash, you know what it means by Hashem et Yehoshua? This curse came true. It took many generations for this curse to come true, but in the time of the king of Ahav, in Melachim Aleph, Perek Tet Zayin, Pasuk Lamed Daled, we hear of a certain Ha'el Bet Ha'eli. And this person decides to rebuild Yericho. And he did rebuild Yericho. And when he rebuilt Yericho, he laid the foundations on the birth of his oldest. And with his youngest, when he finished erecting the city, the doors, his youngest died. And there are plenty of midrashim about this story. In the Bet HaAvel is where Eliyahu meets Ahav. They're both visiting him. And they refuse to believe that this was miraculous circumstance. Right? Even then, people didn't believe in Hashgacha Pratit and in God's hands, and everything just was circumstance and scientific reasoning and whatever. Right? Kfirah didn't start today. It was way back then. So, we have this concept of the city is harem, you can't take from the city, and many of the Mefarshim say you can't take from the city. It seems to be connected because of its miraculous victory, because the victory, according to Rabbi Harold, belongs to God, or to teach us eventually that all Hatzlaha, in the words of the Ralbag, belongs to God. You can't rebuild the city according to Rambam to remind us that this was a miraculous victory, that this was a divine victory, that this didn't happen normally. And maybe we could tie it in with the Midrash that it was the first victory. That there's something unique about being the first victory and it being a miraculous victory. But we'll come back to that point. But so we have in mind that there's a special miraculous sense to Yericho, and that's important to remember. And we have to remember that this was a miraculous victory. But the Abarbanel hints, in the future, when you have your victories, you can have the spoils. Okay. Achan violates this. Right? And here's a strange pasuk. Perek Zayin pasuk Aleph. Vayim'alu b'nei Yisrael ma'al b'herem. B'nei Yisrael were mo'el b'herem. They violated this herem. Vayikach Achan ben Karmi ben Zavdi ben Zerach l'matei Yehuda min ha'herem. and Achan, ben Karmi, ben Zevdi, ben Zerah, plenty of lineage here. The Matei Yehuda, right? To the tribe of Yehuda, an important tribe. He took me Naharim. Vayharaf Adonai. What would we expect? God got angry with? I would expect with Achan. Says no, but Bnei Yisrael. God got angry with Bnei Yisrael. Now, okay, we could expect a group of people sin, maybe collective punishment. But we know who sins. It's one person. One person sinned. Why is God angry with Am Yisrael? Why? Not only is God angry with Am Yisrael, but, as we all know, and we'll just read this pasuk, right? They have a battle with Hai, and doesn't work so well. Perek Zayin pasuk Daled, Vaya'alu min ha'am shamma, kishloshet alafim ish, 3,000 soldiers. Vayanusu lifnei ha'ai, they run away. Vayakum mehem anshe ha'ai kishloshim v'shisha ish, 36 people died that day in battle. For a sin they didn't commit. For a sin that a person named Achan commit. Why? What happened? What is the reason for this collective punishment? There are multiple perushim. Abarbanel, we'll go back to that Abarbanel. First Abarbanel. 5 lines from the bottom, under the Vihine, his Hiram Yehoshua Me'od. If we go back to Perek Vav, Pasuk Yud Het, look at the Lashon. Yehoshua warns the people, Verakatem Shimru min Harem. Watch yourselves from violating this Harem. Says the Abarbanel, Sheyishmeru atzmam v'yishmeru kol ehad l'havero min harem. That they were commanded here not just to watch themselves, but the Lashon Shimru min harem means that they should watch their friends. That none of them should partake of the harem. ונתן הסיבה למה יזהירם עליו כל כך, ואמר שהוא להיותו מפחד פן יחרימו לזולתם, כי לא ייכשל החוטא לבד בעוונו. Because here, this will harm everybody. So there's a seeming responsibility of all of Am Yisrael to watching that nobody partakes of this harem. And if they do, the danger will be that everyone will be punished. There'll be some form of collective responsibility for even one person. Min shishmiru kol echad et havero. That's lashon of the Abarbanel. Yishmiru, watch kol echad et havero. This still bothers some of the Mafarshim. The Ralbag, not on the one you have, asked the same question. Why did so many people die? And not only that, Achan didn't die. You would think that if God's going to emit punishment, it should at least include Achan. He says, Ralbag, in a somewhat radical statement, if you know his understandings philosophically, sometimes you'll see that he makes some radical statements. He says, you know what? The punishment of this sin was the removal of all hashgacha pratit from Bnei Yisrael. Because of this sin of Achan, God removed his hashgacha, his divine providence, from all of Am Yisrael. Now go to war. Well, they were in danger. No hashgacha pratit. They lost the war. Achan wasn't in a dangerous position. He didn't die. That's the Ralbag. Still, we seems to be answering the question still leaving us with that same question. Just as the Abarbanel did. There's something here about this harem that is the responsibility of all of Am Yisrael, and that Al-Bag understands it as well. There's something so grave that when one person does this, all of Am Yisrael loses their hashkaha pratit. Other mefarshim are also plagued by this. Some say that the people of his shevet sided with him. And in fact, they bring a whole discussion that there actually was a war. That when Yehoshua was ready to punish Achan, there was a war, and the people of Yehudah went and they did battle against Yehoshua, and people died. Others say that the Torah goes to great extent to show that Achan was an important person. He had Yehoshua. And why is the Navi going to that, telling us that? Because really people knew about it. This wasn't something that no one knew. But the people, they didn't want to punish Achan because of his stature. So he sort of got away with it. And the people let him get away with it because he was such a hashuv person. We would imagine, however, that even if the people did know about it, who didn't know about it? It's clear that Yehoshua didn't know about what was going on. Right? You can't say that any of these, that Yehoshua knew anything until HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him. Yehoshua shocked. Right? If you look in Zayin Bet, Vayishla Yehoshua Nashim, in Zayin Vav, Vayikra Yehoshua Simlotav, he rips his clothes. He doesn't understand. Vayipol al panav arza, Nifnei Aron Hashem ad ha'erev, and he prays to Hashem. Aha Adonai Elohim, lama hevarta aviram et Yarden. Reminds us of Moshe's complaints. Why'd you take me here? To give us to the Yad HaEmori? We should have stayed in the Ever Yarden. He learned from Moshe Rabbeinu's type of tefillah. This reminds us a lot about. And what could I say? And now the Knaani is going to come and they're all going to kill us. And Hashem tells Yehoshua simply, Kum lach, get up. Lama ta nofel al panecha? Hata Yisrael v'gam ruv b'riti. They sinned. He didn't tell him who. He says Yisrael. Again, we're back to this collective understanding. Something happened here, and it was really bad, and Am Yisrael sinned. And he says, by the way, they're never going to win. Until this is fixed, until you find out who did this, until you remove this person, you're not going to win. I'm not going to go with you. And you're going to lose every battle. So you just better fix this problem. And when they fix the problem, they find out who it is. Achan gets stoned, he gets killed. And then all of a sudden, God changes his tune. And in Perek Het, Pasuk Aleph, Vayomer Adonai el Yehoshua, al tira ve'al tehat, kach imechat kol ha'milchama v'kum alei ha'ai, re'eh natati b'yichad melech ha'ai v'tamo v'tiro v'tarzo. Go ahead. And it'll be like Yericho. And here you could take the shalal. Wow. One guy did all this, changed God's relationship with Am Yisrael and Yehoshua. And the Mefarshim are all telling us, yes, there's some collective thing, but we don't seem to be getting to the core of what it was. There's a collective punishment they had to watch. There's no hashkaha. What's happening? Why? You have on the side the Yalkut Shimoni. Shemus says an amazing statement. The Yalkut Shimoni, on that pasuk, when God says, Kum lach, says, Yehoshua, you know what the problem was? Lo kach amar Moshe. Isn't this what Moshe said when he recommended you for the job? Ki hu ya'avor lifnei ha'am. You're going to be over lifnei ha'am. Im ya'avor, ovrim. Vim lav, en ovrim. If he passes in front of him, they'll go. If not, there's no way. Im anhil, Nahalim. If he takes the job seriously. If he gives the nahala, good. V'im lav en nahalim. Ve'ata shalachta ve'lo halachta imahem. You sent soldiers at Ha'ai, and you didn't go with them. That's the problem. Okay, so this is an amazing midrash, because I thought all this time that this was about Achan, not about, where is the midrash getting this? The Peshat, the Psukim, it's all about Achan. And in fact, the Radak you have asked this question, brings this midrash, and he says, Amru Rabotenu, no, I'm sorry. Yes. V'yesh dirash. It's in the middle of the paragraph. Ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu amar li Yehoshua ki ata tinhal. Kishtiyeh imahem. Aval kan shelo haya imahem nichshelu. Because Yehoshua didn't go with them, they failed. Ve'achar she'amar HaKatuv ta'am. Ki ba'avur ha'herem nichshelu. Ein lanu levakesh ta'am acher. Radak questions this midrash. We know a reason. The Nabi tells us a reason. The Psukim tell us a reason. Why is the Midrash looking for another reason? I think the Midrash sees that we need not necessarily to look for a reason, another reason, but there's something here in Yehoshua's behavior that actually brings some level of responsibility. Because Achan's sin alone makes it very hard to understand why all of Am Yisrael is punished. So what is this Yalkut trying to teach me? Yehoshua didn't go with them. That's true. He didn't go with them. Let's see. Let's go back now. Let's reread some of these psukim. And let's see Yehoshua. Yehoshua, according to Hazal, creates a harem on the city. Yehoshua prohibits the rebuilding of the city. Why? To preserve the miraculous victory. That's what our Mefarshim are telling us. To show the miraculous victory. And now, what does Yehoshua do? More importantly, let's take a look at what Yehoshua doesn't do. First thing, according to the Midrash, Zayin Bet. Vayishlach Yehoshua nashim yiricho ha'ai asher im bet aven mikedem betel vayomer alehem. How many people? They say, 2,000 to 3,000 people. That's somewhat audacious. 2,000 to 3,000 people to capture the city of Ai? Big or small? And how do I know that that's really not a fair number? Because later they're going to send many more. Why do you think they would only send 2,000 or 3,000 people? They just captured an entire city and they didn't lift a finger. Right? Right? We don't need real battles here. We got a shofar, God, walls go down, it's easy. Now we only need 2,000 to 3,000 people. Yehoshua agrees. And they run away. Now, they lose. Well, why'd they lose? What do you think? Well, maybe we only sent 2,000 to 3,000 people. Maybe it wasn't enough. No. Now remember, Yehoshua didn't go. Yehoshua hears, what does he do? Borei Olam, what'd you do to us? The walls didn't come down this time. What's going to happen now? What'd you send us here? This is terrible. The Canaanim are going to kill us now. What happened? Now, Yehoshua complains to Borei Olam, But there's something else also that Yehoshua doesn't know about. Achan is Mo'el in the Herem, and Yehoshua has no clue. Right? What happened with the good old days of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? There was no sin he wasn't aware of, even when he was on the mountain. Right? All of a sudden. So, we have a battle. Yehoshua doesn't go to battle. Sends 2,000 to 3,000 people. Has somebody taking from Yericho, an important person according to the Mefarshim, I'm trying to tie it all down. Potentially not a private affair. Potentially people know about it, but not Yehoshua. Yehoshua doesn't know what's going on spiritually with the people and not involved with their battles. Vayomer Adonai Yehoshua, kum lach. Get up. According to the Midrash, this is the pasuk where the Midrash says it. You didn't go to battle. Of course, it's because of Achan. But if you were there, if you were righting the wrong, if you knew what was happening with Achan, if you were on the battlefield, this wouldn't have happened. Hata Yisrael, v'gam avru et biriti, v'gam lakom min haherem, v'gam ganvu, v'gam kihashu, v'gam samu b'chlehem. This is a rebuke. And by the way, v'lo yuchlu b'nei Yisrael lakum lifnei oivehem oref yifnu, ki hayu laherem, lo osif liyot imachem. I am done. If you're relying on me, I'm finished. It's done. Im lo tashmidu haherem mikirbechem. Kum, kadesh ta'am. It's in your hands, Yehoshua. You have to do this. And he tells him how he's going to do it, the shevet, this, and he tells him how to punish. And of course, Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boker, and he gets to the bottom of this. So step one, what does he do? He gets to the bottom of the herem. He figures out what's happening on his own. No shlachim. He talks to Achan himself, and he gets to the bottom of the problem. And he eradicates Achan. And then what happens? Let's go back to Perek Het, and let's read Psukim Aleph, Bet, and Gimel. Vayomer Adonai el Yehoshua. Okay, you did a good job. Al tirav al tihat. Kach imecha. With you. Et kol ha'am milchama. Kol ha'am. Kol ha'am ha'milchama. V'kum aleh ha'ai. Re'eh natati biyadecha. את מלך העי, ואת עמו, ואת עירו, ואת ארצו. ועשית לעי ולמלכה, כאשר עשית, like you did to Yericho. These are your wars. ולמלכה, רק שללה ובהמתה תבוזו לכם. You got it, it's yours. שים לך עורב לעיר מאחוריה. And he tells him, a tactical way to come. ויקום יהושע וכל עם המלחמה. Now Yehoshua does go to battle. This is no accident. The Midrash is picking this up. La'alot ha'ai. Vayivhar Yehoshua. Look at this. 30,000 ish giborei ha'ayil. There's no 2,000-3,000 people. 30,000 people. Vayishlahem laila. Vayitzav otam lemor. Re'u atem orvim la'ir. And then we have a whole battle. The battle is basically won in the following manner. There's an ambush. Yehoshua goes in with the army. They fake a retreat. Ha'ai thinks we're winning again. They come out. The ambush comes from behind the city, burns the city down, and of course sandwiches the soldiers of Ha'ai and destroys them. And this is the plan. Yes, of course, the peshat is that Achan's Herem was the reason for the destruction. But behind that, says the Yalkut, and I think that the Yalkut is giving us a tremendous insight, and I don't necessarily think that the Radak's question stands, is that you need to understand what's going on behind the scenes. We have a serious problem about the way Am Yisrael is being led right now. That has to change. The absentee leadership is not going to work here in Eretz Yisrael. The reliance on repetitions of Yericho is not going to work. If we go back to why this Herem began, it's because there was this attempt to preserve the miracle, which is fine if it's a relic, which is fine if it's something to remind us. But if it's going to be business as usual, that's a problem. Leadership. We need real and firm and strong leadership. And that we're not getting right now. So what happens? Really what happens is, Hazal tell us, Yehoshua. Yes, there's a reason why you can't have from this Herem. Pashtanim, Abarbanel, Ralbag, Ibn Harambam, all bring beautiful reasons that we need to preserve this miracle. But Hazal's reasons are almost counter to that point. Preserve it, very nice. It's not happening again. It's a Reshit, it's the first city, like a Hala. It's a miracle that happened on Shabbat. Yericho was the Ir Nidahat, whatever reason you want to say. This is a unique experience. It's not happening again. Even Abarbanel hints to it, says, in the future, you'll take the Shalal, because it'll be your victory, not mine. The reasons for the Herem, the reasons for Yehoshua's curse, if this Herem was Yehoshua's, and if this Herem, and certainly the curse was Yehoshua's, this attempt to preserve the victory, right? That's one point. God agrees, but he may have a different point. This is a unique, special experience. Move forward. Am Yisrael are not moving forward. And therefore, the essence of the Herem, the essence of the Herem of Yericho will plague them because they're not moving past it. Achan taking that is not simply Achan's personal sin, but it reflects a fervor in the nation of Am Yisrael and even in Yehoshua himself. And says the Yalkut, you don't go to war, אתה לא עובר לפניהם, אתה לא מנחיל אותם, לא יעברו ולא ינחלו. So, in a sense, Yehoshua and the people need to change their mentality. And therefore, it was Yehoshua and the people that had to get that bitter defeat on the battlefront to understand that you have to right the wrong of Achan. You have to change, you have to go in front of them into battle, and in the future, you will conquer Eretz Yisrael and be victorious.